Grab your coffee, get comfy, and now, today we are talking about a book that's changed the way millions of people think about their lives. It's called The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Stephen Covey, and let's dig into what it really means, this book, and why it can change your whole life. The first habit is being proactive. This is the first foundation everything else is built on. Being proactive means you take responsibility for your own life instead of blaming outside things like the weather, your boss, and bad luck. Covey says there is a small gap between what happens to you and how you react. In that gap, you always have a choice. Reactive people let outside events control their mood and actions. Proactive people use their response no matter what happens around them. He also talks about two cycles: your circle of concern, which is everything you worry about, and your smaller circle of influence, which is everything you can actually control. Proactive people spend their energy inside that smaller cycle, and over time, it goes bigger. Simple example: you can't control traffic, but you can control what time you leave the house. Focus there, not on the traffic. Habit 2 of this book is being with the end in mind. This habit is all about knowing where you are headed before you start moving. Covey asks you to imagine your own funeral, which sounds a little dark, I know, but stick with me. Imagine people speaking about your life. What do you want them to say about you as a friend, a family member, a co-worker? That mental picture becomes your compass. This habit is about starting with a clear picture of your values and your goals. So every choice you make moves you closer to the life you actually want, instead of just reacting to whatever comes up. A simple way to practice this is writing a personal mission statement. Just a few sentences about what matters most to you and what kind of person you want to be. It sounds simple, but it becomes your guide for making decisions. The habit 3 of this book is put first things first. This is really about time management, but not in the way most people think. Covey says not everything urgent is actually important, and not everything important feels urgent in the moment. He uses a simple grid with 4 boxes: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent not important. Most people sound their time firefighting things that feel urgent, like emails and last-minute requests. But Covey says the real magic happens in the important but not urgent box. Things like exercise, planning, learning, and building relationships. Nobody is yelling at you to do these things. So they are easy to skip, but they matter the most in the long run. The habit here is simple. Protect time for what truly matters before your schedule fills up with things that just feel urgent. Think win-win is the habit 4. This habit is about how we deal with other people, especially when there is a disagreement or negotiation. A lot of us grow up thinking like it is a competition. If I win, you lose, or the opposite. I always give in so you can have your way. Covey says neither of these is healthy long term. Instead, aim for outcomes where both sides feel good about the result. This takes patience and creativity. Sometimes it means looking for a third option nobody thought of yet, one that actually makes both people happy. It also means being willing to walk away from deal if the true win-win is not possible, rather than accepting a result where someone loses. Think about it in daily life, like deciding on a restaurant with a friend or dividing tasks with a coworker. Win-win thinking builds trust instead of seek first to understand then to be understood. This is the 5th habit in this book. This may be my personal favorite because it is something almost everyone struggles with. Most of us listen just so we can reply while the other person is talking. We are already thinking about what we are going to say next, instead of really hearing them. Covey calls this a huge mistake in communication. He teaches something called empathetic listening. That means really trying to understand the other person's point of view and feelings before jumping in with your own opinion or advice. Once someone feels truly heard, they become much more open to hearing to you too. Try this the next time someone is upset with you. Instead of defending yourself right away, just listen first and try to repeat back what you hear them say. I will be amazed how much that calms and the conversation down. The habit 6. Synergize. This is a fancy word for a simple idea that when people work together well, the result can be better than what any one person could create alone. Covey says 1 plus 1 doesn't have to equal 2. It can equal 3 or 10 when people combine their different strengths, ideas, and perspectives. This only works tough if people truly value differences instead of seeing them as a problem. Think about a team where everyone thinks the exact same way. It may feel comfortable, but it rarely creates anything new or exciting. The magic happens when different viewpoints come together and build something none of them could have built alone. This habit reminds us that disagreement and difference are not always bad. They can actually be the spark for something better if we stay open-minded. The last and final habit. Sharpen the saw. This is about renewal, about taking care of yourself, so you can actually have the energy and strength to practice the other 6 habits. Covey talks about 4 areas we need to take care of. Is the first physical, like sleep, exercise, and eating well. Mental, like reading and learning new things. Join our channel to read or listen the books, so to grab this education. Social and emotional, like nurturing or relationships. And spiritual, like reflecting on our values, whatever that means to you personally, prayer, meditation, and quiet time in nature. The idea is simple. If you keep working without ever recharging, you will eventually burn out and everything gets harder. Just like a dull saw cuts wood poorly, no matter how hard you push. A tired, worn-out person struggles no matter how hard they try. Taking time to rest and grow is not lazy, it's necessary. So let's quickly recap all 7 habits. Habit 1. Be proactive, take responsibility for your choices. The habit 2 was begin with the end in mind. Now where you headed. Habit 3 is both fast, think fast, protect time for what truly matters. Habit 4, think win-win, aim for outcomes that are good for everyone. Habit 5 was seek first to understand, listen before you speak. Habit 6, synergize, value differences, and build something better together. And habit 7 was the last habit, sharpen the saw, take care of yourself so you can keep growing. Covey groups the first 3 habits under something called private victory. They help you master yourself. The next 3 habits are public victory. They help you work well with others. And the last habit, sharpening the saw, supports and renews all the others. Alright, let's make this practical. You don't have to master all 7 habits overnight. That would be overwhelming. Instead, pick just one habit that feels most needed in your life right now and focus on that one for the next weeks. Maybe you are struggling with reacting emotionally, so habit 1 is your focus. Maybe you feel scattered and busy all the time, so habit 3 may be help. Maybe your relationships feel tense, so habit 4 and 5 could make a big difference. Small, steady practice with one habit at a time builds real, lasting change, much more than trying to do everything at once. And that's all full told through all 7 habits from Stephen Covey's classic book, from taking responsibility for our choices, to knowing our direction, to managing our time well, to building strong relationships, to truly listening, to working well with others, and finally, taking care of ourselves along the way. These habits are not quick tricks. They build slowly, day by day, but little by little, they really can transform how you live, work, and connect with the people around you. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who may need it, and let me know which habit you are going to focus on first. Thanks so much for listening, and I will catch you in the next episode. Take care and keep building those habits. Cheerio.